We all get pent up with insatiable need to let it all out, to give in to your bestial urges for long-lasting satisfaction. That's what a quickie is
Oh,
for.
I don't have
This
a lot of
game
healing
has
items.
done something to us,
Actually,
and
yeah, I
even
have
though
links
we
to
are
those,
waiting to talk about
whatever.
DD2 before we give a full review, I wanted to say exactly how we feel about this game. Now, usually I have quickies with Beast Lord, but he gets all clingy and weird, and don't ask him because he'll say it's me and that I get clingy and desperate and needy. Anyway, this game starts off hard and fast, just the way I like it. Waking up bright and early with a big red rager burning down your seaside town where everybody calls you cousin. I'm talking about a dragon, of course, who, after a hard day of murdering, looks deep inside your eyes, eats your heart out, and you wake up as the Arisen. What? Your draconic lover's gone missing? Welp, time to drop everything, say goodbye to the burnt corpses, and become the strongest stalker to walk the land. What does being the Arisen entail other than becoming a dragon booty hunter? Well, first you're entitled to your very own gibbons. AKA, Sir steals your winch. Or pawn, if you will. Pawns have no soul and will follow your every order without fail. Ah, yes, good old Gibbons. Second, your only other real objective is to hunt down the dragon by its order. But you could always just ignore that and live your life the way you want. As far as I can tell, some of the past Arisen made deals with the dragon, for instance, to have longevity and use the Dragon Slayer angle to rule as the Duke, for instance. Yet not is all fun and games. I mean, not the monsters. Hunting monsters is fun. I'm talking about the hordes of sweaty peasants and greedy royals that need something from you. I get that enough in real life. I don't need it in my video games. Seriously, no spoilers. Too much of this game's universe is wild in the best ways and won't have it ruined with a quickie. But understand, this isn't an open world game. It has very well constructed open areas, no loading screens, with a ton of areas of interest. You could easily get lost for hours exploring after deciding to do a simple quest, from abandoned settlements taken over by goblins to griffins making house in forgotten ruins. Gameplay was well thought out and carefully crafted. Every time we turn this game on, we are surprised by the level of detail. Another incredible example of what should be the standard that goes into any RPG and the potential ARPGs can have for details. At the start, you get 3 classes to choose from, the typical in a medieval fantasy setting. These can further develop into more pure versions of themselves, the warrior, archer, or sorcerer, then hybrids of each. In this case, we went with the Mystic Knight, a spell-slinging warrior. To learn moves and passive skills that can be used in other classes, you need discipline. I know. You don't really need to worry about it. You get discipline from fighting, so it doesn't take long. Go on a quest, get lost, and come back to town and you'll have more than enough. You can also change classes anytime, so no worries about getting locked out of anything. Preparation is exciting and exhausting part of this game in the best ways. You see, this game has a night and day cycle. Different enemies appear at different times, and fighting at night is as difficult as it should be. You can easily get ambushed because you can barely see in front of you. That's when items like the lantern come into play, but also you can take advantage of skills the archer has, like lighting up an area for a minute or longer. That's when the abilities of each class and every item in this game starts to shine.
Ooh, you kind of came out of nowhere. Crit. Yeah, I'm kind of just out there. I could not see that. Let's just hit the lion part really quick with fire and see if we can burn it. Alright, now let's go for the...
Burning enemies also cause them to light up the area they're in, so a mage with fire can be a great thing to have. But let's say you're going into a catacomb. Know their undead may be present, it's essential to have allies who can provide holy attacks or deal with hordes that may appear. Having items that can heal poison can also be needed due to the undead, or enemies that tend to stalk at night like the Chimera. Then you take carry weight into account, and knowing how you need to prepare is crucial. There have been plenty of times when I'm just out enjoying myself when suddenly it's nightfall, or when an area in a dungeon gets too dark. Sounds echoing in caves will have an even greater effect, from the mourning and talking of zombies to ogres breathing heavily, chewing on something adds so much dread to a dungeon crawl. One of the most impressive areas of the game is its pawn and enemy AI. Preparation and patience in this game are the true keys to victory, not just from battle to battle, but when it comes to understanding this game, what your pawns can really do and how intelligent the enemies actually are. The Cyclops, big, stanky, one-eyed hunk confident enough to wear a loincloth without shame. Obvious weakness, hit it in the eye. Higher chance of him falling over. But you can also target his feet with powerful attacks with the chance to make him kneel to get at his eye. If you target his arm with a weapon and do enough damage, you can make him drop the weapon. If you light him on fire, in general, he'll go into a mindless frenzy where he can possibly knock down other enemies. But if you're near a cliff and he goes into a frenzy, he can easily fall off the cliff. All of this for a single enemy, and I'm not even done because there are other exploits to this one enemy. But if you think this is limited to large creatures, you'd be sorry. Add this with the variety of items, skills, and their uses, and you have many ways to play and win against overwhelming odds. That's when pawns play a vital role. They watch your every move. If Gibbons and I are fighting an enemy we don't know, we will both go through our offensive options until we find a weakness. If I find it, Gibbons will know what to do and will actively try to take advantage of them while alerting me to any weaknesses. Then if I see him do something cool, I, the player, will then know how to do it as well and take advantage of it. They do this with everything from quest to understanding areas of the world. If their goal was to recreate the feeling of playing with people, then they accomplished that. Many of them are terrible. Not because they are bad, but because some pawns just don't play like how you want them to personally. Maybe because how they are set up with their overall knowledge on the situation, but that's how people are. Each one of you are different, and because of that, sometimes things will conflict, even the simplest, pettiest things like a video game, and I actually really like that. Then the enemy AI. Don't get me started on how amazing they are. Of course, zombies do act like stupid zombies, but reptilians will actively defend or observe for opportunities to attack. Wolves will behave like wolves, circling you and avoiding obvious attacks, while others attack you from behind. Enemies also react to when the player does something interesting. Look at this, for instance.
And they bounce? So it does take on the element of my weapon right now. How come it doesn't do that stuff all the time? Yo, is the AI being wary? He was trying to go under it. Look at that. The enemy AI is being wary of my trap zone. Do you know how crazy that is? That's actually really insane that they put that level of detail in all of their stuff. I was expecting them just to run into it, right? But look at this guy. And that guy, the other enemy tried to get down low to get under. At least they were like messing around and so like, maybe this will work, right? Capcom XCOM. What the fuck were you on?
This is incredible. Goblins that see an ally fall will try to jump them, but later will have attacks that will also be able to take advantage of those situations. This seriously is some of the best crafted enemy AI I've ever seen. Take all of this into account with their stamina system. Mashing attacks, sure you can get somewhere, but at what cost? Sure, you'll win the battle, but every time you take damage, you get a black bar you can't recover without items, and a white one you can be healed. But you could easily get overwhelmed before you get close to completing your goals. Sure, you can hack and slash at a Cyclops' feet and win eventually, but at what cost of valuable resources and time? As far as anything bad about the game, I'd say the management of items is horrible. There are so many, and locating what you want or need is a pain in the ass, to be frank. Otherwise, everything else is more annoying than anything. I wish I could have more hotkey weapons to switch to. Mystic Knight, for instance, can use swords and wands. Being able to switch instantly would save me time. So I guess more hotkey options overall. Then the hard mode was a lot. Apparently it's just enhanced damage where nearly everything one-shots you. We had to put it from hard mode to normal mode. Because of that, it was too much. I think they should have given higher level skills and AI to lower level enemies while increasing damage to a point. Otherwise, normal mode is very challenging. I'd love to talk more about this, but I'm trying to go from DD1 to 2 to see how everything evolved and if they fixed the issues I did with DD1, along with many questions I wish to be answered, followed by more wondrous questions with the extended lore. One of the most amazing battle systems and AI I've ever seen. This game could easily be the blueprint for many well-thought-out action RPGs when it comes to creativity, immersion, and the offer of hundreds of hours of enjoyment and replayability. We will get back to you with Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you all for joining.